Hello! I thought I might put together a series of videos over time discussing the ideal kinds of setups for certain snow conditions, especially those conditions that are maybe a little less straightforward, that nobody mentions specifically in their gear marketing. These videos will be fairly short, more speculative than scientific, and hopefully come across as exploratory rather than didactic, because snow conditions can be so nuanced and different people also have different goals when it comes to cross-country, downhill, or telemark skiing. I don't know how many of you will benefit from this, but hopefully there are at least some nerds out there who enjoy contemplating these things. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to do a quick little comparison here between a fat, rockered powder ski and a turny but relatively narrow ski on some fresh but sun-kissed and kind of dense snow. So here goes. In this case, the fat rockered skis are the Voile V6 BC. Let me describe the snow a bit more in depth. It had just snowed that morning, but then temperatures warmed to around freezing and the sun peeked out at times, creating a delicate sun-kissed crust with soft powder underneath. It was a bit punchy, but overall forgiving as crust goes. No problem pushing this semi-dense snow around. There must be at least a million different kinds of snow crusts, ranging from impenetrable ice, where edge hold would be really important, maybe you want a thinner ski, to resistant but breakable crust, to subtly upside down snow with a fragile crust over soft, fresh snow. The latter is what I was dealing with today, and for that, edge hold isn't particularly important, but float might be more important. These Voile V6 BCs are definitely a powder ski with significant rocker in the tip and tail, and respectable width underfoot, giving them more float and a surfier feel than the other skis I tried out on this particular day. Okay, so the Voile V6 BCs are going up against these Alpina X Terrains, which have at least as much side cut, but they aren't nearly as wide underfoot. They're not really tuned for soft snow, I would say, even though they're a pretty wide cross-country type of ski. They seem more like downhill ski construction for hard-packed snow, and then they happen to have scales. So I really have no idea how they're about to perform once I get off the path. Woo. Interesting. They are every bit as turny, but not as stable feeling. I don't know. Let's see how that looks from the observer's perspective. Both of these skis could be said to have a very turny side cut, and although the Alpinas are small, neither ski is a featherweight. The main operative design differences are surface area, with the Voiles being longer and wider, rocker, which the Voiles have in abundance, and taper, in this case meaning the Voiles are much wider up front than in the tail, while the Alpinas are comparatively symmetrical. So how does all this play out on the snow? Here's my speculation. The Voiles stay higher in the snow column thanks to rocker and width. Because the Alpinas sink lower, they are interacting with snow differently at different parts of the ski. The tip is sometimes against the surface crust and sometimes against the soft powder underneath. The midsection has sunken even lower in the column, maybe compacting a relatively denser medium to push against there. And as a result, the tail now has further to climb to reach the surface, meaning it's harder to release in the turn and is more likely to hook against the crust or in the trench left by the front of the ski. The Voiles, on the other hand, have a more predictable snow interface with less variability in density as they stay higher, and the tails can surface thanks to staying higher and having rocker. The taper also might lessen the likelihood that they will hook against the trench or crust. Overall, both skis will turn, but the Voiles will feel smooth and predictable, while the Alpinas are a little more herky-jerky and harder to feel balanced on. Sometimes I like to just run my impressions past AI. The only thing I see here that I might not agree with is the part about wanting light skis. For this kind of snow, I like just enough heft to not get deflected by different snow densities, with a boot and binding combo that's sturdy enough to stabilize the ski against the snow, and of course, rocker, enough width, and a diminished upturned tail. But I'm just learning about this stuff myself. What are your thoughts? Feel free to help folks by sharing in the comments your ideal setup for the kinds of skiing you do in this sort of snow. Thanks for watching.